This week's episode of I Was a Teenage Film Snob is not brought to you by partridges or pear trees. Welcome to I Was a Teenage Film Snob. I'm James Chalmers, your friendly neighbourhood film snob, and this is our first annual Christmas special thing. It's not really a special, but we're just going to do some Christmassy stuff on today's episode. Because honestly, I haven't really been feeling the Christmas spirit this year. I don't know what it is, whether it's just I've been working too much or because I work from home, there hasn't been a lot of Christmas things around. But I feel like I can do more to get in the Christmas spirit. I haven't been a Grinch per se, but I just haven't been feeling it. So I thought, let's throw together a Christmas episode. Let's play some Christmas-themed games, have a bit of a chat about Christmas. I think that's going to boost my spirits and hopefully boost other people's Christmas spirit as well. Because that's what we want to do this time of year, is have a bit of fun. So to join me on my quest to find the true spirit of Christmas, that's what it is now, please welcome back to the show my wife, Tina.
Hello, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy Chrysler.
Merry Christmas, James. Merry Christmas.
How are you going? Are you feeling the Christmas spirit?
If Christmas spirit means running around like a headless chook, then yes. I'm feeling the Christmas spirit more so I have this year than in previous years, actually. Like I did my nails all Christmassy. We have not one but two Christmas trees up in our house.
That's true. We do have two Christmas trees.
Remember last year I was like, I don't want to do the full tree. I just want to do a small tree. And now I'm like, do all the trees. I'm feeling generous with my gifting. Yeah, I'm feeling the Christmas spirit this year.
That's good.
We're watching some Christmas movies.
I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies. That's what I think the thing is that normally around Christmas time I finish up quite early. I generally try to finish up about the middle of December. Because of the role that I have and where I work, I can kind of choose when I end. So normally I finish up kind of like the middle of December as opposed to wait until the very end. But because there's some things coming up in the new year, which we can't talk about just yet, but we'll talk about at some point on the podcast, I had to kind of conserve my leave. So I was like, can I finish on the 21st instead of the 22nd?
Yeah.
But literally it was pretty much right around the corner from Christmas where I finished. So I've only had 2 days off. And I think I've watched 4 Christmas movies in that period of time.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
we had my family Christmas on Thursday. If you're doing a drinking game with the amount of times I mentioned Christmas, you will probably get really drunk because I've said Christmas about 20 times already. And that was fun, but unfortunately, because of the nature of it all, once dinner was done, we just kind of all had to, kind of just hang around till Zoe went to sleep, and then we all just went to sleep. So we didn't get to play any games or watch any Christmas movies. So I'm looking for a bit more of a Christmassy boost, but that was, I think, the first step in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I'm expecting that on Christmas Day, the three of us will sit and we'll watch some movies and have a good old Christmassy time around the. Well, I mean, we don't have a fireplace.
We don't need one.
No, we don't need one.
There's no snow falling over here.
So what about the fire pit? We'll hang around the fire pit on a 35-degree. It's not going to be 35. It's going to be raining.
We'll just put like the Yule log thing on Netflix.
Yeah. I love that.
Instead of watching a movie, we'll be like, let's just watch this log for the next 4 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what we watched. We watched Deck the Halls, which I'd never seen before and you'd never seen before.
Oh, my God.
And I've hit rock bottom. I think it says it all.
You got to tell the listeners about it.
So it's a film with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. And I'll say this. I didn't think it was terrible. Because here's the thing about Christmas movies. As a rule, I find that they do need to be at least a little bit bad. Like, I've never seen... There's not many Christmas movies where I'm like, wow... Oh my goodness, what an instant cinema classic. I feel like because they're niche, because they fall under, they don't even fall under genre of like comedy or drama. It's like Christmas is the genre. Because of that, I feel like there are certain earmarks they must meet. And because of that, that generally prevents Christmas movies, most Christmas movies from being brilliant. It's like they're fun, but they're a little bit cheesy, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, they're a little bit lame, but in a good way. So Deck the Halls ticked all those boxes for me, but I was reading the trivia on IMDb afterwards, and apparently, like, no one in the cast was happy. They were all miserable while filming it. Like, Danny DeVito was, like, flying back and forth from set. He just didn't want to talk to people. Kristen Chenoweth was going through a divorce. But the absolute best thing I read was that Matthew Broderick, teen heartthrob Matthew Broderick, was, like, apparently could be heard or walking around set muttering, "I've hit rock bottom." And,
oh my god, so that imagery is just so funny to me.
it is, and then what's really funny is because we're
He's
watching.
really not good in the movie.
Yeah, well, you mentioned like, oh, like, did he forget how to act?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think he's that bad. And they're like, no, I think like he is that bad. And then when I read that, I'm like, oh, he just wasn't trying.
Yeah.
Like he clearly like he was just coming there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine. Yeah, like there are definitely better Christmas movies, but considering I'd never seen it before, I thought it was fine.
I felt like it just didn't really have a plot. There's
Yeah.
this one guy who's a bit sort of like aimless, and so he's like, oh, I will make my house seen from space.
Yeah.
And that's the plot of the movie.
And then we watched Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Which I hadn't seen since I was a kid.
Yeah, same.
And it is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
But like there's some fun stuff.
It was fun. Yeah, it was really fun.
And then we started watching the Santa Claus last night, which I hadn't seen since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying that. But the common theme with all of the movies we watch is that every dad is awful in these Christmas movies.
I don't think it's that every dad is awful. I think it's that it's always the theme is always a stressed parent who doesn't have time for their kid and then realizes that the spirit of Christmas is making time for your kid.
Well, I watched 2 more Christmas movies on top of that. So I watched a horror movie called Christmas Bloody Christmas, which was fine. It was about like this robot Santa Claus going around killing everyone.
Yeah.
It was fine. And the other one I watched, recommended by a friend of the show, Brian Rupert. He hosts the Reviewing History podcast. And he was like, this year you need to watch 8-Bit Christmas. It's great. Starring Neil Patrick Harris. And I think it's loosely based on A Christmas Story, which I've never seen. It's a very American Christmas film, A Christmas Story. But basically, it's a story of this father is telling his daughter the story of like the best Christmas of his life when the Nintendo was released and how all they wanted was a Nintendo. Yeah. But like, and then all the obstacles that kind of came into play, preventing him from getting the Nintendo. And in that movie as well, like Dad was, both parents actually were very much like neglecting their children. I'm like, oh, it's just a trope of Christmas movies.
Yeah, it is.
But it was wonderful. It made me cry. Like the ending, like it was an instant Christmas classic. And I'm like, oh, 8-Bit Christmas. This will be an annual watch for me now. It was really good. And I'll probably watch a few more tonight before I go to bed. I'll say a few more. It's already 9:30. Maybe one more. Yeah. I'm going to watch Violent Night, I think, which is David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Oh, there you go.
Playing Santa Claus. And Santa Claus, I think, saves a family from a home invasion. So.
Oh, nice.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Excellent. I guess that's pretty much all the stuff we've been doing for Christmas. Just watching some movies. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a bit of a game on today's episode. We're going to do, I guess it's the newlywed game, you would say. And I should say, like, we haven't conferred. Like, we were writing our answers next to each other in bed like 5 minutes ago. Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't know if I actually know much about your taste in Christmas. Yeah. Like, anything. You're agreeing with me? Or, like, I know he doesn't know much?
I know that you don't know what my favourite Christmas movie is.
Yeah, I wrote down something, but I guarantee you I'm wrong.
Yeah, I guarantee you you're wrong.
Yeah. I wrote down Die Hard. No. So we'll do that, and then we might just talk about like some Christmas memories and stuff. This won't be a particularly long episode, but just something to get us in the in the spirit and have a bit of fun. And then next week we've got the big end of year finale, which we've already recorded, which you were a part of as well. So I haven't revealed all the guests yet. I revealed that Maddie was on it the other day, and now I've revealed that you're on it. So one more guest to reveal, and I think I've told them it's a quiz as well. So should we jump into a game?
Yeah, I think so.
So we're playing the Newlywed Game. For those who don't know, basically I wrote down a bunch of pretty generic Christmas questions, and then I have to answer what I think you would answer, and you have to answer what you think I would answer. Yes. And I wonder if I don't know these things because you're less vocal. Like I'm pretty opinionated about stuff. I'm like, oh, this song, it sucks. Oh, I love this song. But I don't always hear you talk about it, so maybe...
I've spoken about my favourite Christmas movie many times.
Interesting.
Yeah. But probably not so many times in recent years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I know your favorite song either, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think you do either.
But we're not newlyweds, so we've forgotten more about each other than most people ever know. So that's the answer I'm going with.
Well, I also don't think I got the first two right either.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That would be the movie one. I wouldn't be surprised because it's probably changed over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But the song I feel like I'm pretty vocal about.
Yeah.
All right, well, flipping over my answers. We'll get started with it. So the first question is, what is your spouse's favorite Christmas song or carol?
Okay, you want me to go first?
Ladies first.
Now, I can't remember if this is what it's called. I might be getting confused with another one. But isn't it Carol of the Bells?
It is Carol of the Bells. Yeah, definitely. If we want to get specific, I would say the August Burns Red version is my favorite.
Yeah.
But I'll take any version. It is the only good Christmas song, in my opinion.
No, there's plenty. There's a wide range of very good Christmas songs.
Well, get ready for me.
So Tina wins all the Christmas questions.
There's no points and there's no prize.
Tina wins.
Well, get ready to be disappointed because I wrote down 2 and I don't think either of them are it.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh no, what is it?
My first thought of your song was Santa Baby, which I know is not your favorite song. Because I've heard you sing it.
What?
But I know it's not. I was just thinking that'd be a funny answer.
You think my favorite Christmas carol song is like Santa Baby?
Well, not like
this girl like asking for a million designer shit.
Is that what it's about?
Yes. If you fucking say, baby, it's cold outside, I will stab you.
No, the other one I'm basing on something from like when we first started dating.
Yeah.
So it's probably not right. But my answer was going to be All I Want for Christmas Is You by My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but I don't know.
No.
You're like, clearly.
Clearly, no, that's right. Do you want to know my favourite Christmas carol?
Well, it'd be a pretty weak episode if we didn't
Christmas song.
Yeah.
It is Merry Christmas, Everybody. Merry Xmas, Everybody.
By Slade. Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was trying to think of the songs I was in the car the other day, and all I could think of was the one from Love Actually you kept trying to find and couldn't find.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that one.
Yeah.
I should have known it was the Slade one.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you said it, I'm like, Slade, yeah.
The reason is because...
Not Santa Baby?
No. The reason is because...
that was a joke answer, just so you know.
That's... Before... If it's a carol, if we're talking a Christmas carol, my favourite Christmas carol is We Three Kings. We Three Kings
really?
of Orient are bearing it... Because I just like it.
Okay.
But when I was 18 and I really got into Doctor Who, I heard that Merry Xmas Everybody song.
It's on every Christmas special, isn't it?
Yeah. Christmas special. I was like, this song is great. And then because I watched so much Doctor Who, I was like, this song's come up again.
Yeah.
So that's my favourite one.
There we go. I should have known that. That's fair. To be fair, as we were talking about before we recorded, I've had maybe 6 hours sleep over the last 3 days. So
yeah, that's right.
That's an excuse for not knowing anything about your marriage. All right. Next up, the next question is, what is your spouse's favorite Christmas movie?
Now, I've
written down 2 for me, just so you know. So if you get, because I'm kind of like, there's like a classic one and there's like a more modern one.
Oh, okay.
So, there's no points if you get one of them.
How Christmas movie are we going?
It's not Die Hard.
Okay.
These are movies about Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I don't think this is your favourite one.
Like, I'm not putting in, even though Iron Man 3 and Die Hard do count.
Well, I wrote down Die Hard and Iron Man 3, but I wrote down a third one. I don't know if this is your favourite Christmas movie, but I know you think that this is the best one in the series, and that is Home Alone 2.
I did write down Home Alone 2, yeah.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah, that's my classic.
Yeah.
And my modern one is Happiest Season.
I don't know what that is.
You've seen it. No, you've seen it.
Oh, I have.
That's the one where Kristen Stewart plays, it's like she's got a girlfriend.
Yes.
And Dan Levy's in it.
Yes.
And like it's not a fun movie, but there's some funny moments. Like Dan Levy is hilarious in it.
Yeah.
But I
remember you were like, you watched that movie and you're like, this movie is so good. And then you're like, Tina, we have to watch this. This was last year.
Yeah.
You go, we have to watch this movie. It's so funny. And we're watching it and we're
I've forgotten that it wasn't funny.
It's not funny. Like it's dry. It's dry humor, but I was like, this isn't funny.
It's but I think it captures the chaos of family Christmas really well.
Yes.
I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. They are funny, but like I think the reason was I was blowing up like Dan Levy's role bigger than it actually is because he's only in a couple of things. Like that whole thing where he has to pretend to be straight. Because like, how much do you lift, bro? Like that's really funny. Okay. I don't know your favorite Christmas movie based on what you told me. I've put down one that we watch a lot, which is Love Actually.
Yeah.
And then I also wrote next to it, you prefer BBC Christmas specials. You don't go, I would say you're less of a Christmas movie person, and you're more like, oh, what's like the Christmas quiz? Is like, do we have like
the Bake Off Christmas?
Yeah, you go in for Christmas. Like you just mentioned Doctor Who before, so that's why I don't think I know. I almost wrote down Elf, but I don't think Elf is your.
I do like Elf.
Yeah.
I do really, really like Elf, and I do really, really like Love Actually as well. But you're right, I do go for more specials. Like I was literally going to say to you last night, I was like, the Great British Pottery Throwdown has a Christmas special. I really want to watch that. I was like, no, he's not going to want to watch that.
Oh, 5 points.
Yeah. No, this movie has a really special place in my heart because every Christmas it was on ABC and I'd sit after. So I was telling Mum about this morning, actually.
I know what it is.
Yep.
It's the snowman one.
It's the snowman. Yep. I love the snowman.
I don't think that's a movie. I think it's like a 20, 30-minute thing. Like, and that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I would put that down as a Christmas special as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that isn't a movie. Well, then
I'm not saying like that can't be your answer.
No.
I'm just saying like half a point to me.
Yeah.
I need something on the board.
I suppose then Love Actually would probably be my next go-to. I don't know if I can call it my favorite Christmas movie though. But I would say it would be my next go-to.
Well, I just don't think I should have said this at the start. We're not going to talk about movies a lot on this episode. It's less of a movie episode and more just a Christmas episode. But like, I don't think, like I was saying before, like because of the genre, I don't think there are a lot of really truly great Christmas movies.
No, there really isn't.
Like that's why I think it's hard sometimes. Like some because we were even looking the other night. We're like, what am I gonna watch? Like, and we're going through all this stuff. Like, nah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be Love Actually next, but that's without having to really sit down and think about it and go through the back catalogue of Christmas movies and go, how am I ranking these?
Yeah.
That would just sort of be on instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3.
I have to look up what the question was because...
The thing we look forward to the most.
Favourite part of Christmas, yeah. So I think yours has changed. I think, although I think the thing that I've written down has always and will always be the same, but I think there's been things that have added to it. So I wrote down the food.
Yeah.
And then I also added watching Zoe. I think like her enjoying Christmas and watching her, like the last couple of years kind of Christmas hasn't meant as much to her. But I would say like last year and definitely this year, she gets it now. And that excitement. I think that like my answer for your favorite is a food and her enjoying Christmas. Yeah,
I wrote down the food.
Yep.
Yep. And I wrote down the food for you as well.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also wrote down watching Zoe, and I also wrote down family. Because it's like one of the few times of the year where I can sit down and just like not stress and just talk to...
I'm very adamant about Christmas being the three of us together. Christmas Day being the three of us together as a family.
Yeah.
And us enjoying our own little special Christmas Day with special Christmas traditions.
Also, we both got our own question wrong about favourite movie or Christmas special. It should have been Christmas Swim from Bluey.
Yeah, it should have been.
Because that is legitimately their best episode they've ever made. Alrighty. We're blazing through this. This is going to be a short episode. What is your spouse's... we originally wrote down dream gift, but I guess ideal is more so. I'm not being like, I wasn't being like, if they could have anything in the world they wanted, what would it be? More
because
just
then
like
that could be anything.
really.
Like
So
like yours would be your own cinema.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's not
like
going to
not
happen.
even exactly. So ideal gift, the idea of like it might even be the kind of thing you get repeatedly, like each year, like, oh, just give me this.
Yeah.
I like this. So what did you
Well, I had to think about what you've said over the last few days. And because you've been saying, I don't want people to buy me movies because you want to organize what movies you want to get.
Well, it's not even that. Like, actually, I'll let you do your answer, then I'll explain my thought behind that.
And so I wrote down movie vouchers because you want more opportunities to go to the movies.
That's exactly my answer. Cinema vouchers. Yeah. 100%.
So I wrote down movie vouchers.
And my thing is, it's not that I don't want people to buy me movies, but like, I can be quite particular about what I want. And it's just like, if I want something, I don't want to like wait until Christmas. Like, I'm an adult. And like, it's not like whilst my hobby takes up a lot of space and can be expensive, to getting individual things, it's not like I have to like, oh my goodness, I have to save up for weeks and weeks to buy the movie. Like, it's no, I can just get it when I want. So I think I follow suit with what a lot of people have to deal with their husbands. Is just like, I don't want to buy him because he just buys the things he wants. It's like, yeah, it's got Ben grown up. Like, cool. Cool. I put down, and like I wrote this down before. This has been a trend for the last 5 years, but I don't know if it's something you actually do want every year. I should have done Bunnings vouchers.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. I was like, Bunnings vouchers. It's exactly what I want.
Yeah. For our non-Australian listeners, Bunnings is a hardware store.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like Home Depot.
That's a really good point. That's a really good comparison. It's like our Home Depot,
That's exactly what I wrote, Bunnings vouchers, because you can't go wrong with the Bunnings voucher. They never expire. You're always going to need one.
Can't use them online though.
No, that sucks. Hopefully they're going to change that.
Remember that like that first year really? And I was like, I'm going to buy these things to sort out my movie collection. I'm always sorting out my movie collection. I was like, if I just get some Bunnings vouchers, I can buy it online. And then I didn't know you could, because like, it's 2020. You can use vouchers for any store. And also, like, we were in lockdown, so you couldn't go in store to buy. So I'm like, surely, nope. That was a frustrating Christmas.
Absolutely, Bunnings vouchers.
Nice. And then, the next one was favorite Christmas food.
Yeah.
Favorite Christmas food.
Now, for you...
I think I posted this online 2 days ago.
Yes, that's okay. So that's what I wrote as my answer. But I also wrote... I'll go through my other answers too. Yorkshire puddings makes an honourable mention.
Yorkshire puddings is part of the answer.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have Yorkshire puddings, it doesn't count as Christmas.
Yeah. But also, we eat Yorkshire puddings a lot.
Sure.
So Yorkshire puddings isn't strictly Christmas for us.
Not for us, but when I was a child it was. Yes. So that's where it stems from.
Yeah. I also wrote, these aren't my answers, these are my honourable mentions. Okay, honourable mentions, as James A. Castro again would say. Roast duck as well. Last year we had roast duck.
Did we?
Yes. I made it in the oven at Venus Bay.
You did too.
It was amazing.
Right. That's right.
So then clearly that's not your favourite. We're doing it for dinner this Christmas as well.
Do you know what? It's because it was the first time we'd had roast duck, so I'd forgot. It's not that it wasn't my favourite.
Yeah.
I'm sure I did really enjoy it. I don't remember at all. I remember having it, but I don't remember what it tasted like at the time, and that's because it was the first time, whereas traditionally I've had the same meal pretty much, so that's my go-to thought.
But obviously, as everybody's answer is, your favourite Christmas dinner meal food is my mum's cassata.
I actually didn't write it down.
Oh, really?
I was just thinking about the main meal, which is the full roast.
Oh, okay.
With Yorkshire pudding. But cassata, I should have written it down because cassata is part of my.
But I do get like half. I know we're not doing points, but I wrote Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that counts.
Yorkshire puddings needs to be mentioned. It doesn't count.
So you're talking about like your favourite Christmas meal is the full roast.
Yeah, it would be the full roast.
Yeah.
Like, well, actually, and I guess the duck would count because I didn't specify what meat. Like when I think about Christmas meals, like I could think about like when my grandma made roast beef and Yorkshire puddings when I was 7,
and she'd make Hasselback potatoes as well.
Yes, I think about them a lot. But now that I've got a new way of roasting potatoes, I'm like it's fine. But I should go back to the Hasselback. Or I think about like your mum's roast.
You should hustle back to the Hasselback.
Very, very good.
Thank you.
they would have appreciated that on off menu. They would have gotten
Yes.
conversation. Or like I think about like my mum and my dad make the roast and stuff like that, or when you make the roast. So yeah. For you, I was a lot more specific. I just wrote cassata.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mum that makes this amazing cassata every single year.
Is it on the
She
menu
makes
for tomorrow?
2. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Of course it is. She makes 2 and she makes it like from scratch.
Do you remember?
It's not like she buys a liter of ice cream and melts it. She makes the custard from the egg yolks. She churns it herself, like she does the whole thing from scratch. No ice cream maker, no nothing. Like the proper real deal. And man, it is like, I said to Mum yesterday, I said to her, not yesterday, this morning. I said to her this morning, like, if I, oh no, I was talking about something else. But I'll say it anyway, because I was talking about.
Just pretend you said it.
Yeah, just pretend I said it, because I was talking about deli
as
cups.
I was saying to my mother.
No, I was talking about deli cups, but like the same thing with cassata. Like, if I died and went to heaven, cassata is what my heaven would be filled with. It's
pretty good.
It's so good.
Do you remember? I can't remember what the last event was, but when she made 2 and she gave an entire second one just to us.
Yeah, it was great.
Don't know if anyone else knew that. So if your family,
I think it was Zoe's birthday or my birthday, somebody's birthday. Mum.
I don't think it was your birthday. That seems too recent.
No, I think it was Zoe's.
Maybe.
I think it was Zoe's because that was the last time she was over. I think.
That sounds.
It wasn't Easter. That was too long ago.
Zoe's birthday sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got to keep the cassata.
And we ate, and you know what? We ate the entire thing that night. Like we had cassata like with lunch, and then that night you brought the tin of cassata into the bed, and we just ate the whole thing. So we ate 2 cassatas that day.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this one is a multiple choice one, and I stole this one from the boys at Reviewing History. They asked this question on their Christmas episode, which is brilliant. For those who haven't listened to it, go download it. It's cool. Very, very good. Which character best represents your partner's feelings about Christmas? A, Buddy the Elf, B, Clark Griswold, or C, the Grinch? So when it comes to Christmas time of year, which of those am I most like and which of those are you most like?
I think today you were C. But today you were C. Hang on. But I think generally every year your outlook is B, Clark Griswold.
Yeah, that's 100% me. Like I like Christmas, but I get frustrated.
Yeah.
I also put down you as Clark Griswold.
Yeah.
I think like you get stressed. I don't necessarily get stressed, but I'm just like, oh my God, like just why is it being more complicated than it needs to be? Like
you know what it should be? It shouldn't be C, the Grinch. It should be C, Frank Costanza.
Yeah.
Like you find tinsel distracting. You're like, I'm going to start my own Christmas.
Brian would have liked that joke because he's a big Seinfeld fan, whose podcast I stole that question from. Cool. I'm glad we're both on the same page. And then the last question on the newlywed quiz is, how would your spouse most like to spend Christmas? And by that, kind of, where would they like to do it? What kind of activities would they like to do?
I reckon if you had the means to, I think you would prefer to spend Christmas at the movies with your family. But I wrote just like at home watching movies.
That's exactly what I wrote. I wrote at home watching Christmas movies / like playing with using the gifts.
Yes.
Because one thing I miss that I haven't really experienced for a while, I don't know when the last time it was, is like just being like, all right, now that we've got our presents, let's use them.
Because you're not a kid anymore, I suppose.
Not just that, but also like because there's so much travel involved.
Yeah.
I would say the last time I didn't really have to travel for Christmas really was before we met.
Yeah.
And even then, I was traveling between like my dad's and my mum's and my different grandparents' house. But there's always like time allocated where we could just like enjoy our gifts.
Yeah.
But like when we started dating, it was driving back and forth across the city.
Yeah.
And then we got together, we had to drive back and forth across the city for our families.
Yeah.
So like yesterday, we came home from my mum's house, and I think you and Zoe were still out. I think you must have. Yes, I got home a little bit before you. I was like, oh, I'm going to play this video game. This video game I got. And I think I played a handful of levels, and Zoe came home, and she was like, can I play? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got to sit down and play a little bit, so that was fun. So yeah, I feel like because I normally ask for a video game each Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of video games anymore, but like if I get movies, which I don't really get too much, tell people not to get them for me. It's like, well, generally, like I have to wait for some me time to watch that. Like, especially now with Zoe around. Like, I'm like, oh, can you get me like the new Saw movie?
Yeah, that's right.
I can't watch that while Zoe's awake. And if there are certain video games I can't play like in front of her either. But it's a very long answer. But yeah, but you nailed it. Yeah. At home watching. I wrote Christmas movies, but really any kind of movie. I said you would prefer to spend Christmas at the beach. And I also wrote like in brackets picnic. But yeah.
Yeah, I wrote white Christmas brackets ideal.
Yeah.
Like that's the dream, to have a white Christmas. But obviously you can't do that. So I wrote beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So I only got 2 wrong, really. It was just the music and the movie I got wrong, and everything else I got right.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Well done.
And you got everything right, I think. The food one you got like a half.
Yeah.
But everything else you got right.
Everything else I got right. I'm the best.
Well, let's put on Santa Baby and.
Oh God.
I knew it wasn't the Ariana Grande song. I know you like that song.
I do like that song.
But I wouldn't say that's your favorite. But look,
that's Santa Tell Me.
Yeah. Yes. This is. Oh. For those who are wondering what's going on, I'm old. I had to stretch my leg. We don't really talk about Christmas songs too much. Like, mine's easy because it's in that episode of The Office. So every time we watch that episode of The Office, like, best Christmas song ever.
What's your least favorite Christmas song? Because I can tell you exactly what.
Yeah, yours is Feliz Navidad.
Yes.
Yeah. I almost made jokingly.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
I almost was going to jokingly make that your favorite one,
No.
But then I was like, I might get stuck in your head, so I won't say it. But then you brought up least favorite.
Yeah.
My least favorite. Well, as a rule, I don't really like Christmas music anyway. Like, there's not really. The other Christmas song I like is like Russian Doll or whatever it's called from the ballet.
Yeah.
Because it's used for every chase scene in Christmas movies.
Yeah.
It should be used more. But as a rule, I don't really like Christmas songs. I think most Christmas music is very like unnecessary.
Really?
Well, I worked in retail for a number of years, so that would get done to death.
Yeah, I know, but I did the same. I worked at IGA and we played Christmas music from October onwards.
Yeah. If I had to think about it really, maybe like Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart. That song's pretty awful.
Yeah.
What
about Do They Know It's Christmas Time? Feed the world.
I've only heard that song a handful of times. It's not good. There's not a lot of good Christmas songs. Like, the exception is Bublé. I think Bublé can make any Christmas song sound pretty good.
Yeah. Kelly Clarkson as well. She's really good with her Christmas songs.
Yeah. Or who's the group Earth, Wind and Fire, where they did September as December.
December, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not too many. Like, the problem is there's not too many rockin' songs. That's why I like Carol Bell so much.
Rockin' around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party.
What is that? Jingle Bell Rock? No, that's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Don't mind me.
Yeah, 6 hours sleep over 2 days.
Yeah. Well, they sound like they've got similar song structure.
Yeah, they do.
I was like, is that how it starts? I was like, no, it starts Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock. Like I think maybe that Last Christmas I Gave My Heart song is probably that's the one that comes to mind most. But I just don't like most Christmas songs. They're not my jam really. Which is funny because I'm like, we haven't listened to any Christmas music this year.
Unless it's a Christmas song from Community.
Yes, all of those are great.
Yeah.
Sensitive Night. What's the undercover?
Rock and Roll Santa.
Rock and Roll. No, Baby Boomer Santa. That was great. That's so good. That's what we need to watch before Christmas is over. Is that episode? What's the Teach Me How to Understand Christmas?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice one. Well, before we get out of here, I thought we'd talk about a couple more Christmassy things.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling more in the Christmas mood now, talking about some Christmassy stuff. I'm a changed man. I thought we could talk about some Christmas from our past.
Yeah.
And I was interested to know if you had much thought about what your favorite Christmas present was as a child.
I really had quite a few. I think my favorite one. This actually wasn't when I was a child. This was when I was like 18 or maybe even 9. It was either 17, 18 or 19. But I remember one year, George, my brother, said to me, he goes, "Oh, Tina, I really got you a great Christmas present this year." And I was like, yeah. He goes, no. It's like seriously really good. So I was like, okay. So anyway, we come downstairs. It's Christmas morning. He hands me this box. And he's got his phone out to take photos of my reaction
I know what this is.
well. And we have this. I had this toy growing up called a Rumple Bear. It's a Fisher Price toy called a Rumple Bear, and he's just a stuffed bear basically. But you know how like families will, or siblings will fixate on a toy and give it a backstory and give it a language and give it a life and stuff like how we do with the dogs.
Yeah.
You know, Loki is a comedian. He's a stand-up comic, but he's also a cop. And Luna is the lead singer for Ride the Taxi and all this kind of stuff like that. Like we give them voices and tell stupid stories and stuff like that. So we had this Rumple Bear. I had this Rumple Bear growing up, and he's like my teddy. Like my whole life, he's been my teddy. And Fisher Price released various versions of them. So they had like, you know, a Rumple Kitty, a Rumple Puppy, and then they stopped producing them in the late 1990s. So anyway, I'm sitting there. I've got this box, and I still remember the photo that that George took. And I open the box, and there's a Rumple Lion and a Rumple Bunny just staring back at me with their cute little faces. I was like, oh my God! Because A, I didn't know that they existed. And B, I was like, this is an amazing gift.
Do you remember you also found the yellow one at the op shop?
Yes, I found the yellow one at the MS op shop, and I found the brown one by chance at a garage sale. Mum and I were driving down the road one day, like near Mum's house. We were walking? No, I think we were walking. And Mum was like, we walked past it, or we drove past, I can't remember. We went past the garage sale. I was like, we should stop and have a look. And Mum goes, oh, yeah, sure, we can. So we went over, and sitting there on the table was a brown Rumple Bear. Run, it's a Rumple Bear! It's a Rumple Bear! It's like $5 or something.
And then I got you one as well.
And then you got me Rumple Monkey. So and these are collectors. Like, they go for hundreds of dollars on eBay. Like, a Rumple Monkey is so rare. It goes for like $250.
I think I paid 3 figures for him. I did.
Yeah.
This is when I had a disposable income, so it didn't matter.
Right.
I had no obligations to anything.
But like, it's not just like, it's this cheapo like teddy or something like that. Like, there is this. It's a very, very, very niche market. And it was just the sweetest thing because, like, he thought of that. Like, that's the thing. It's not a case of he went to a store. It's not like my brother went to a store and was like, oh, Tina likes Harry Potter, I'll get her this Harry Potter thing. Or, you know, Tina's been talking about cameras, I'll buy her something with cameras. My brother went, I'm going to have a look to see if I can find this really rare, out of production toy from her childhood that I know she's going to love and be surprised by. And that's just like, that's what a Christmas present should be. Christmas presents shouldn't be like, oh, I went into a store and I saw this like random tat. It should be something that has been had a lot of thought and being curated for the person. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was my favourite Christmas gift. What was your favourite Christmas gift?
Christmas
I
gift?
always said Christmas. Was it a Nintendo 64?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a couple. The first big one would be the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Actually, and I was thinking back about it, like, I think my favourite Christmas presents have always been ones I shared with my brother. Because what they would do, because Nick and I were born so close together, and like Sarah's only a couple of years younger than Nick, but Nick and I were close together, and because we were boys, we would do a lot of things together while she was still a baby. So we would get a lot of joint gifts. And then, like, as we got older, like, the gifts could be shared with her as well, but they were always gifted to the two of us because that was a common interest. So the first one was the Super Nintendo. I remember we borrowed a console from a video store. Because you could do that back in the 90s.
Could you actually?
Yeah.
I knew you could borrow games.
You could borrow consoles because it was new. Like, so they rented.
Yeah.
And we got, I think we got the Mario All-Stars pack, which I've actually been showing Zoe recently, that was like 30 years ago. Like, and now, like, she's like Nick's age, the age Nick was when we got the Super Nintendo. And then the next gift that we shared probably with the Nintendo 64, which is also, like, again, like, I have both those consoles in this room as we speak.
Yeah.
We also got a pool table.
Oh, cool!
Like, obviously not a full size one. It was like a fold. It was almost like
you guys got extravagant gifts.
It was kind of
like 1 year I got underwear.
Yeah, and you're welcome for that. You know, I really put a lot of thought into it.
You know.
It was
not from you.
No, I know. I'm talking
about a 10-year-old girl.
No, I know it was a joke. It was like a trestle table, so like it had like fold out legs, whatever. So we would play that, and we played that for years. I think it eventually got damaged when we moved house one year. Like, but we played that. Like, that was a huge one. We played like all. And whenever we had people over, like, that was like the centerpiece. It was like, oh, we'll go play pool.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Those are probably the big favorite gifts. I've got other cool stuff from time to time. I've always done pretty well. Like, people have always been pretty generous and stuff like that. But those are probably the ones that stick out the most. No, that wasn't Christmas. That was my birthday. I was like, you got me a PS3, but that was for birthday.
Yeah, that was your birthday.
I think I got you a PS3 for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about things you've gotten me for Christmas.
I got you, especially early on, I got you a lot of big things for Christmas.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, those are probably the ones that are most laden with nostalgia and therefore the best Christmas presents. Yeah. And then the last question that I had was if you had a particular favorite Christmas memory.
I think I don't know if this is my favorite Christmas memory, but it's always the one that makes me laugh. And it's just like, it's not like one specific memory, but there was a period of time, like maybe 3 or 4 Christmases in a row when I was quite young. So I think maybe like between the ages of 6, 7, 8, and 9 sort of thing, where we'd wake up on Christmas morning. Me, my brother, and my sister would wake up on Christmas morning. We'd run downstairs, and there's all the presents under the tree, and we're getting all excited to open our presents. And Mum's woken up, and Dad's woken up. And Dad goes, oh, let me just get the video camera. And Mum goes, no, don't worry about the video camera. Like, don't worry about it. He goes, no, let me do it. And then proceeds to spend 45 minutes setting up the video camera. And my mum's yelling at him like it's Christmas morning. She's yelling at him. She's like, leave it alone.
And he's doing
it every year. Open their presents.
He's doing it every year. So why wouldn't he be like, oh, I'll get it out the night before. Yeah.
Just like, and we're like, come on, Papa, we want to open our presents. It's like, hold on a minute. And it would go on for so long. And you just spent, like, now I look back and I laugh, but I'm pretty sure back then I was not laughing.
Well, I think that's just a universally a dad thing from our era. Because my dad was exactly the same. Like, first thing, like, was getting the camera all set up, and it would take a while.
I've never seen that footage.
Oh, me either.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think it even exists.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the time the bug gave up. It couldn't figure it out and it gave up.
I might have seen a little bit of. I've seen footage from the other things. I've seen like birthday footage. I've seen Easter footage. I've probably seen some Christmas footage. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that was just like, especially dads from our parents' era, was just you must document everything and never watch it, but you must have it and keep it in the library and never watch it, but it must exist. Because if someone ever comes back and asks what happened to Christmas '96, we'll be checking the tapes. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know if that's, so it's not necessarily like a good memory, it's not a bad memory, but it's a memory that makes me smile. And to me, that's Christmas.
Yeah.
You've waited all year for this day, and you're sitting there and your mum's yelling at your dad and you're like, I just want to open my presents. Oh, but another Christmas memory that I had was I always used to lie under the Christmas tree with the lights on. So, it'd be nighttime, it's time to go to bed, and I'd spend like, half an hour just lying under the Christmas tree with all the lights on, looking through the branches. And like, it's like 2 nights before Christmas, and you go and you look at all the presents and you like shake the presents and you try and open a little corner. You go, I think it might be this. I think it might be that. And your mum's in the kitchen, she's getting things. Yeah, like that. Those little bits and those little pockets of images. They're not really memories, but they're like visuals. Those live in my mind and they make me happy.
Yeah, we definitely did the sneak out thing. Like we would sneak out. I would normally wake up in the middle of the night, or it would take me so. I don't know whether this is common for all children, or whether like just a handful of us or just me. But with certain events, like I just could not sleep
because you're so excited.
Could not sleep.
Yeah, same.
And then at a certain point, I'm like, all right, Santa must have come by now. So like, I'll go out and like the Christmas tree would look the same. The handful of gifts that were there the night before were still there. Because like what my parents would do is they would put the presents from them under the tree days in advance.
Yeah.
And then like more, like the tree would populate with more gifts.
Yeah. My parents did that too.
Like the year we got the pool table, I almost walked into it. Like when I was sneaking out to look at the Christmas tree, I was like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "I guess I'll find out in the morning." And once you'd seen that the presents were there, generally I could get to sleep. I'm like, "All right, cool." But now they've arrived. They're here. We're gonna get presents.
It's all safe.
Not that I ever doubted it, but I was like,
we're gonna get more presents because I already knew I was getting presents.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was getting more presents. I guess I'm trying to think of my favorite memory. Again, I don't have like one specific one, but one that I can think back of with a lot of fondness is probably the Christmas of 2000. So it was I just finished Christmas '99.
Yeah.
I was heading into my final year of primary school, and we hadn't moved house. It was still in Keilor. And the day after Christmas, I believe, we were going on a trip. We're driving from our house to Queensland.
Oh, wow.
Which is, for those who aren't familiar with the geography of Australia,
24-hour drive.
No, much longer. We had
24 hours straight.
Yeah,
we had go without stopping.
We drove and stayed in a place called Dubbo in New South Wales, and we drove up again and stopped somewhere else. It was like a 3-day drive for us. But
it's 3 days.
That morning, we, my brother and I got Pokemon games for the first time. So we're like, like we joined like the Pokemon fever, so we're playing that. So we're playing those together all morning, and actually we haven't stopped playing those games together since.
Yeah.
So like since 1999, all we've done is play those games together. Like when I send my brother reels, they're almost exclusively just Pokemon reels. So like even now as an adult. So like just the idea, like just that Christmas. It's the last Christmas we all spent together in that house. It wasn't the last Christmas we all spent together as a family because my parents split when I was in high school. So, but like that was like kind of the end of an era. It was like the last year in that house that we spent so many years of our lives at that point. But also think of the next day. Like the next day we were all due to head out, and it was really stormy. Like it was bucketing down rain. there's quite a bit of wind, and we had this like beach umbrella, but it wasn't like, you know, like when you go to a cafe and there's an umbrella in like a plastic mount and you fill the mount up with water to keep it way down.
Yeah.
So we had one of those, but there was no water in the base, and the wind came through and was taking the umbrella away. And so my dad was like, James, quickly, like, don't let the umbrella go away. But I was like 11.
Yeah.
So I grabbed onto the umbrella and I started flying away.
Oh, no.
So just me trying to wrangle this umbrella in the rain while everyone's getting ready. Like, everyone's ready to go on holiday. They're just waiting for me.
Yeah.
I've been sent out to wrangle this umbrella. Even though it wasn't Christmas Day, I think about that whole period, like that vacation, and like, you know, we went up to Movie World, and I don't think we did Dream World because we weren't big ride kids. But just kind of doing that, went to Noosa and like just spending every day in the pool and stuff like that, and getting ice creams, and I don't know, that whole like Christmas vacation is probably the one that sticks out the most to me. So yeah,
nice
Christmas. Did you have any questions about Christmas or any kind of things you want to talk about on the Christmas episode? No.
I don't think so. It was just thinking back, just as you were talking about like opening presents and stuff. I always remember because my brother's birthday is Christmas Day, and so that was always a bit hard because George always got twice the amount of presents.
Yeah,
he got birthday presents and Christmas presents. So you would do that thing where you open up all your presents, and then you're done before everybody else, and everybody else is still opening presents. You're like, it's like when you finish your ice cream before everybody else does. And you're like, oh, I wish I had more ice cream.
I've started noticing how to do that with Zoe now. Because when I was a kid, my dad would always finish his ice cream first. I was like, why aren't you taking your time with it? And now I'm like, oh, it's because children take forever to eat anything. I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
But yes.
But yeah, no, you know, my Christmases have always been very, very loud, very rambunctious, very active. They're not quiet, thoughtful, contemplative Christmases. They're very, very intense Christmases, which is always fun, I think.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's lively.
It's funny. Like, ours have always been playing video games or watching Christmas movies and lots of traveling to other people's houses.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing but like, what I like about your family Christmas and my family Christmas is now turned into this as well is there's one location.
Yeah.
Everyone comes to one location.
Yeah.
But what would happen growing up was we'd wake up in the morning, I don't know if our presents to play a little bit, and then it was like we're going to lunch either to my mum's parents or to my dad's mum's house, or one of them's coming over.
Yeah.
And then dinner was at another location. When I started dating you,
that was hard for you.
It was dad's house, mum's house, nana's house, grandma's house, your house.
Yeah.
So it was like, depending on where I started, it was Sydenham, Tullamarine, Fawkner, Essendon, Wantirna South.
Yeah.
And the first four are all pretty close to each other, but they're still going to go. And then I was like, and then Wantirna South.
And everybody would be like, when's James coming over? And I'm like, yeah, he probably won't be here till about 3 p.m.
Yeah. So definitely appreciating less travel, although we're still driving over an hour for Christmas because we live further away than anyone else. Nice. Well, if that's all the thoughts you've got, we'll probably just start wrapping things up soon.
Yeah.
We're not
nice Christmas pun.
There we go. That's just call me James Christmas.
Okay. I will not be calling you that.
No, the reason I say that is that when Gabby and I, friend of the show Gabby, and I used to go to lunch together at work, and if I was paying for something online, I had to put my name in on my phone. And when I started typing my last name, it would change it to Christmas. So just say James Christmas.
Nice.
Just like Christmas Kamara.
Kamara, that's what I was thinking.
We're not going to promote anything stuff for today because it's Christmas. We're not going to try and sell you anything. We've already spent enough money. So all I'll do is I'll say thank you to Tina for coming on and doing a quick episode with me and doing some Christmassy stuff.
Yeah.
If you feel like you got shortchanged and you're missing out on the movies talk, don't worry. Next week, our end of year special, we do a lot of movie talk, so that will definitely fill your desire there. And then the week after that, we're going straight into the best of 2023. So there'll be plenty more movie talk coming up. But thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a happy and safe Christmas. And that's going to just about do it. Do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up?
And Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a Happy New Year.
Happy Chrysler. That's going to do it for this week's episode of I Was a Teenage Film Snob. As I tell you every week, guys, I was a teenage film snob. I'm trying to be better. We'll see you next week for the end of year special.